There is a lot more of you here than there were the last time that I filmed. What the fuck? Hi to the 4,000 new fucking people that joined this channel in the last month. That's literally the most growth my channel has seen since I was like in high school. So that's crazy. And thank you. To my subscribers that have been around for a while, hi. I know it's been a couple weeks. I got a new tattoo. Thought you might like to see it. So earlier in the month of August, I was featured on a 2-part docuseries on Tiffany Ferguson's channel. It was about the KIBBE body typing system. The videos were like a deep dive into the nuances of the KIBBE system, and it featured me and 3 other women of different body types. If you haven't watched those videos, I highly recommend that you go check them out. They are significantly more in depth on what the KIBBE system is than what I'm gonna do right now. I sent Tiffany like literally like 30 to 40 fucking minutes of content. Ridiculous. I can't shut the fuck up. So I figured I would just repurpose some of the content that wasn't shown in the series, making a sort of reflections video and talking more about my experience with the KIBBE system and what I think about it, sort of looking back on the experience. Hi, it's me. You're probably gonna be seeing a lot of me throughout this video because my brain is an endless loop of words. Can I have silence? Can I have peace for one day? So before we get started, I just wanted to say that I know that I am a very fiery, passionate person, and that when I talk about topics like this, I can get really fired up, and some people might perceive that as me being angry or aggressive, when really it's just because I am very passionate and very protective of my past self and anybody who relates to that person. I know that I don't need to explain myself to anybody, but I would just really hate for somebody to not hear what I'm saying because they're too taken aback by the fact that they think that I'm yelling at them. I'm sorry, I'm just loud. I just say this because I saw people in the comments of the KIBBE videos they seem to be taken aback by me, and you know, people misread my passion. So if you're new to me, hi. My heart is here, it's on the forefront. I get fired up, okay? I just want everyone to feel good about themselves. That's it. Enjoy the video. So what is the KIBBE body typing system? The KIBBE body typing system is a collection of 13 different body types that analyze the yin and yang, feminine and masculine aspects of your physical characteristics, aka the softness and sharpness of your features. It focuses primarily on bone structure and flesh and how the various proportions of your body come together as one in balance and harmony. So your KIBBE body type technically shouldn't change with weight fluctuations in the way that other body typing systems might, because it's focused more on the frame of your body and how bone structure and where your flesh collects dictates the lines and sharpness and softness of your features. When I heard about the system, this is the part that I felt the most skeptical about, but we'll get more into that later. The point of this system is to provide insight on what clothing, hair, and makeup would look best on your body type, so once you determine which KIBBE type you are, there are endless amounts of resources and Pinterest boards with recommendations on what would allegedly look good on you according to the system. The 13 types are dramatic, soft dramatic, natural, flamboyant natural, soft natural, gamine, flamboyant gamine, soft gamine, classic, dramatic classic, soft classic, romantic, and theatrical romantic. Again, if you want to hear more about the system in detail, please go check out the series on Tiffany's channel. So the first question that Tiffany asked us was basically to just talk about our relationship with our bodies and how we see ourselves and sort of, you know, a little bit of our body image history. So I've had a really complicated relationship with my body. I have struggled with my body for, I mean, it feels like as long as I've had a body, but I'm way better than what I used to be. Right now, I'm totally someone who self-describes as being body positive. I got super into body positivity when I was in high school, and it's just sort of something that has stuck with me, and it's a lot of internal work, really. Like, I say that I'm body positive, but it doesn't come easily to me. Like, I feel like I wake up every day and like fight to be body positive, and I work at it, and I'm constantly undoing all the nasty negative shit that I've learned about my body, and like just undoing years of self-hatred. So I'm body positive, but it's complicated. So one of the questions that came up throughout the videos, I think it was in the second video, was a conversation of like, what is body positivity and who is it for? This is a part of a larger video and a larger conversation, so I'm just gonna read the comment that I left on part 2 of the KIBBE system video, because I think that this is the most succinct and to the point way I'm gonna touch on this without going into a 10-minute rant. I really love that you added in the bit about the body positivity movement having roots within the fat acceptance movement created by and for fat Black women. I think so often the body positivity movement gets sort of rewritten as a self-love movement, overtaken by more acceptable looking bodies in the name of self-confidence, which is also important, not to disregard that at all. It's important to remember the body privilege and thin privilege exists on a spectrum and of course is completely intersectional. For example, I know that as a size 16 woman, in many people's eyes, I am the acceptable plus size body. I'm also short, and I feel like that also benefits me in some way because it allows me to experience smallness on some level. Not to mention how the other privileges I have impact my experience in my body as well. I'm white, I'm able-bodied, all of these things connect. We all benefit from thin privilege in some capacity, and I think it's important to remember that although we're all on our own body image journeys, and we can all struggle in that regardless of size, the body positivity movement was made by and for some of the most marginalized bodies in our communities. And it's super, super important that we continue to center those bodies in conversations of body positivity. I think all bodies can benefit from a lot of the work the body positivity community has already done. And again, it all exists on a spectrum. My experience is one experience. A size 24 would have a much different experience than I. And I think it's important to just make sure that we're keeping the most room at the table for the people that this movement was intended to create space for. When we're talking about the body positivity movement, it is important to remember that this is a movement with roots in the fat acceptance movement. These are movements intended to create space for and support the most marginalized bodies in our society. If your body positivity doesn't include and fight for those marginalized bodies, it is not body positivity. And something that I think about a lot is just that, like, by fighting for people that are bigger than you, that have much harder experiences in their body than you do, you in turn help yourself and free your own body from the, structures and rules and limitations that have been put upon it by society. When you fight against fat phobia for bodies that are much larger than yours, and you're helping bigger bodies get to a place where they are accepted and they are represented and they are fought for, you are gonna feel the benefits from that as well. Like I said in the comment, I, to a lot of people, am the most acceptable plus size body. I love the body positivity movement. I have gained so much from the body positivity movement. I know a lot of people that are much smaller than me that feel the same way. Because the thing is that we can all benefit and feel loved and, get ourselves to a better place through this movement without making it about, like a size 12. This is, again, part of a larger fucking video. I could talk on and on about the body positivity movement and who it's for, and I think where I sit is sort of like we can all benefit from this movement and we can all enjoy this movement and contribute to it. But it's important that in the work we do, the most marginalized bodies are benefiting. If they are not, it is not body positivity. There, that's all I had to say. So how do I typically dress? Okay, I feel like I definitely dress on the sexier side. I love showing off my body, and I feel like a lot of it comes from like years of not liking myself. So now that I do, I'm like, well, shit. I know what parts of my body I'm like, oh, it's time to showcase this. And I know what other parts of my body I'm still working towards loving and accepting. The part of my body that I'm most insecure about is for sure my stomach. So I'm still working towards accepting that part of my body. So I do try to work in like skirts that are more tight to that area, that help sort of like showcase the beauty of my stomach in a way that I am comfortable with. I think at the end of the day, it's all about like your attitude and how you carry yourself. So I feel like anything I wear is kind of sexy, even if it's not sexy, because of just the way I carry myself. I don't love the entire idea of body typing because everybody's body is going to look different. It's not like you can line up like 8 different types and look, oh, you're gonna fall into this category perfectly. That's just not gonna happen. Oh, I'm supposed to look like and I don't. What's wrong with me? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with you. Sometimes I just feel like categorizing people's bodies just makes it harder for them to accept that your body doesn't need labels and there's no rules for your body because of what it looks like. Anything you want to wear is going to look good on your body. There are no rules because of what you look like, and just not gatekeeping trends from myself because of the fact that I'm not thin is helpful for me. I'm working pretty hard to tear down all these like boxes and limits that are like, you can't wear this because you're fat or you're a size 16. Oh, you thought we sold your size? That's so funny that you thought that. I feel like I'm working really hard to get rid of those things, so putting up more like walls and categories and boxes to put myself in. Like, I just want to like wear clothes that make me feel good. My entire life thought that I wasn't allowed to wear certain things because of what my body looked like. Let me tell you a story. In middle school, was starving myself, barely fucking eating. I literally ate grapes and cheese in like the 100 calorie packs. Like, they had those 100 calorie packs of cheese and a little thing of grapes. And that was pretty much all that I ate for like my entire 8th grade year. Alarming, right? Yeah, no 8th grader should just be living off of 100 calorie packs of cheese and fucking a bushel of grapes. I was struggling so deeply, but at the end of my 8th grade year, I went to the doctor and I lost all this weight, obviously through a very unhealthy way. And I remember going to the doctor and her being like, great, you are the weight that you should be, stay there. And I remember looking at her and saying, but how much more would I have to lose to wear a bikini? Because in my brain, at that time in my life, there was literally a number that I thought other people knew, that they could look at me and be like, that's when you'll have a flat stomach. And to me, flat stomach equaled, you can wear a bikini, you can wear a crop top, you can wear all these fun clothes that all the other girls are wearing. But if you didn't have the flat stomach, it meant that you couldn't wear it. In my brain, I was literally not allowed to wear those things until I had a flat stomach. I was trying to change my body type, change what my body naturally fucking looks like to fit what it should look like, to fit what the beauty standard is, so that I could wear all those clothes. Because in my head, you needed one to get the other. And a lot of people think like that. How many times in your life have you heard someone be like, oh no, I can't wear that. That would look so, it's not flattering on me. And it's sad because that's not what life should be about. And like, for what? What am I gonna do? Spend my whole life trying to mold my body into something that it's not so that I can participate in things when these are all just made up fucking rules that we abide to? For what? Am I gonna live my whole life just to die and not have experienced the life that I wanted to because I didn't look hot enough according to somebody else? Clearly I'm angry about it now, and I just feel like, how dare anybody have ever told me that I couldn't wear that fucking bikini? Because I want to go back and tell my 8th grade self to fucking put it on. I literally want to drag my ass to the store and say, put that shit on. There's no point in living like that. Like, I was so miserable. I was so fucking miserable. Newsflash, you can wear whatever the fuck you want. And also, the word flattering is a fake word that I fucking hate. And I said this in my slam poem video, which a lot of you guys know me for, but I talk about how the word flattering to me is just like a half-baked way of being like, oh, you should dress to make yourself look less fat. What does the word flattering fucking mean? It means to hide the parts of your body that maybe could be perceived as being big. Riddle me this. Who decided what is flattering and what is not? Who decided that? And who decided what we all think the same thing? We all are just universally in agreement about what is, it's dumb. It's fucking so stupid. Like, this is fat phobia that's been ingrained in us through our entire lives. When you have a friend be like, oh, can you make sure I don't look fat in this photo? Do I look fat in this outfit? When you say words like flattering, when you try to dress yourself in a more flattering way, where do you think that comes from? You weren't born knowing what was flattering and what would work on your body. This is fat phobia that's been ingrained in us through our entire lives. But I encourage you to maybe look at that and be like, well, what the fuck? Who decided that? Because I think it's hot. Let's move on. And I'll talk more about this in a couple minutes because there's more questions that I'm gonna wanna talk about this with. But a body typing system that tells you what you should wear to flatter your body, to highlight the best parts of your body, I'm probably not gonna be the biggest fan of. So I think my first reaction to all of this is just like, do people analyze other people's bodies this much? The first video that I watched featured mainly small, thin women, and so I'm watching it like, bro, I don't have a single fucking clue which category I'm gonna go into. And then I watched another one where they sort of featured plus size bodies, and I feel like I know which one I am now, but like, I could absolutely be wrong. I just feel like I look at myself and I'm like, I have no idea what you look like. Hearing the descriptions and things like that, I feel like I'm probably a romantic body type. You are shorter, your features are like rounder, and you just sort of are like a meatball. Like sometimes I feel like if you took a size 16 plus size model, aka a size 16 person who is tall, and then you just like scrunched the PNG, that's what I look like. And according to the KIBBE system, body type doesn't change with weight fluctuations, which makes sense to part of my brain, but then the other part it doesn't. Like even when I was 80 pounds lighter than I am now, I didn't look that different. Like I've always had a softer, more round figure in all of my body sizes. So I guess I understand it, but also sometimes my brain just struggles to be put in the same category as people so much smaller than me. There's no way we're the same at all. There's no way we could have any level of like a similar experience, especially in regards to like clothing. And there's part of me that thinks like, okay, so I figure out my KIBBE body type and then I figure out what types of clothing is gonna look good on my body, but like, do they even sell that clothing for my body? I'm watching this video right now and like, you're telling me these are different body types? My brain looks at that and is like, thin people. Yes. If this girl's supposed to be the most romantic body type of them all, just like, how am I supposed to relate to that? And maybe it wouldn't be helpful to someone like me given my background with my body, but yeah, I think right now I'm just pretty skeptical. Going into this, I really tried to give the system the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I would find something helpful in it. Maybe, you know, I was open to having my mind changed. I'm not so stubborn in my own opinions and views on the world that I wouldn't entertain why this would be helpful to someone else, even if it's not helpful for me. But I do think that if you're going to acknowledge that this is helpful for some people, you have to acknowledge that there is a massive group of people that are probably not going to be helped by this system whatsoever. You know, something I saw a lot in the comments, which I talked to Haley about, which was, she was another one of the participants. Some of the comments from people that are clearly like totally in love with the KIBBE system and have found a lot of helpful things with it were kind of put off by the fact that not all of us involved in the video liked the system, and they blamed it on us basically not having the knowledge and not knowing enough. And a lot of the comments were like, oh, if you knew more, if you researched more, then you would like it. And I think that's a really frustrating reaction to a plus size woman saying this is not helpful, I think this is harmful, to be like, oh, well, you're just dumb. Like, I had to laugh. I think that's a really shitty response to having someone disagree with you. You don't have to agree with me, and I don't have to agree with you. And I don't think any differently of you because we have a differing opinion on this topic. I think that we can both acknowledge that this system is going to be good for some people and not good for other people. And we can have that conversation and admit that there are flaws in the things that we enjoy. So if you like the KIBBE system, great, good for you. I love that you found something that works for you and that helps you in your body image journey. But you have to acknowledge that there are people that this is not going to work for, and I just feel like we should be sticking up for those people and not calling them dumb, you know? I just want to add in here that although I'm saying that I respect people with a differing opinion to me, and that if you like the KIBBE system, I don't think any differently of you, that is all true, but I think it's important to note that there is a lot of fat phobia involved in conversations that we're about to have about this system. And that is something that I do not accept or respect, but we all contribute to it, each and every single one of us. And I think it's one of those things where it's not helpful for us to be like, oh, if you are fat phobic, if you contribute to fat phobia, you are a bad person, because lots of very good people contribute to fat phobia. I have contributed to fat phobia in the past. I mean, I could do so many fucking videos on this. We all do it. So I think that, like, I respect you and your opinion, and we can disagree on these topics, but I hope that you will come to meet me in the middle somewhere to reflect on how perhaps fat phobia has existed in your mind and aided in the way that you see this system in a positive light. I don't think that these sorts of things make us good people or bad people. I think that we all are influenced by these things and contribute to them, and respect your opinion. Respect that we can disagree. because everyone's on their own journey. And I just hope that you will meet me somewhere in the middle. Let's keep it rolling. Taking this test as someone that has struggled with body image and, you know, body dysmorphia and has trouble seeing themselves, participating in the test was exceptionally difficult. And in the footage that I'm about to show, you can tell that I am sort of flustered and don't really know what to say, and I'm constantly making jokes, and like, I'm clearly uncomfortable taking this test. I think that I'm gonna have a romantic body type. It's Meatball Nation over here, ladies and gentlemen. How long do your arms look? Bro, I got stubby arms. And I think they look stubby too. Short, stubby, right? Like, what is that? How long do your legs look? Bro, I got stubby legs too. Short and wide for sure. What best describes the shape of your hands? Short and wide, baby. We got hot dog fingers. It does feel kind of difficult to take this test as a fat person. A lot of these questions specify that you're supposed to be focusing on your bones and not necessarily the flesh. But like, I can't fucking see my bones, bro. Like the hip question, it says it involves the flesh of the hips, but more importantly involves the shape of the hip bones. But like, I don't know what my hip bones look like. Do I even want to know? I just feel like I don't care about the answers to any of these questions. My brain is like, you don't need to have more information to fight yourself with, you know? Then all of a sudden I'm like, why are my hip bones like that? Shut up. My answers to these questions could be entirely wrong. I have no idea what I look like. I'm looking at a photo of myself and I'm still like, bro, I don't know. It's in God's hands now. I'm like a fat Polly Pocket. How would you describe the flesh on your upper arms? I mean, I got big arms, but like I'm fat. So like, ay, ay, ay. If you carry a lot of weight on your arms, you may think the only answers that describe your arms are B, wide and straight, or E, soft and wide. But look at the shape of the flesh. Is it rounded or straight? And remember to consider your flesh in proportion to the rest of your body. I do wonder if this test is difficult for everyone or if it is exceptionally hard for people who are big, because I just want to answer all of these like wide, soft and wide. And maybe that's the truth. Maybe I'm correct in thinking all of those things. But I also know that not all big bodies are gonna have the same KIBBE type, which just leads me to believe that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm answering this entirely incorrectly because I can't see myself past my body. Oh my God. I'm scared. My brain shuts off. Like, I literally feel like I read, how would you describe the flesh in your upper arms? My brain is like, start working at fucking half capacity. They're clocking out up there. Come on, let's keep it rolling. As far as my answers go, I answered 1B, 4C, 3D, glasses, I'm sorry, 9E. So, if you got mostly E answers, then you have a romantic body type, which is what I thought. Your body's made up of soft and rounded lines, and you're probably on the short side. Yeah, some of your features may seem wide, but because they're short and rounded, they don't have a lot of visual weight. No. I'm at a good place with my body, but it's still difficult for me to be like, this is what I look like. Like, I think that I definitely view my body in more general terms. Like when I say, oh, I'm a big girl, I'm not like, oh, I have big arms and my wrists are this size and my ankles are this size and my thighs are this size and they're proportionate to my waist via fucking this amount of inches. Like, I don't have the data on my body like that. I don't know my measurements. I don't need to know all that. And sort of having to analyze my body to be like, this part is bigger than this part and this part is proportionate to this part by this amount. Like, too much. I literally felt like I was stuttering my way through taking this quiz. And like, I understand that the KIBBE system is like a system intended to analyze the lines and curves of your body, but I have no fucking clue what that means. Like, in connection to my own body. My brain goes into panic mode when I hear that. Like, it's like, oh, analyze the lines and curves of your body. I'm like, the lines and curves of my body? I'm an enigma. I don't know what that is. Like, I'm just, like, I'm a blob. I'm a blob. I exist everywhere and nowhere at the same time, baby. Like, I'm just here. At the end of taking this quiz, I understood why this would be beneficial to somebody that is maybe lost on their style and have no idea how to dress themselves and just want any recommendations of any kind. Not necessarily like, oh, this is gonna look good on your body, but just like, wear this, put this on, because they just want to be told what to wear. But I also feel like this could be helpful for somebody who is plus sized and either isn't ready to or does not want to love their fatness, which is like difficult for me to say, because for me it feels like there was no other option. Like, it was like, you need to learn to love this part of yourself or you are going to live your entire life like miserable. But I do understand that not everybody wants to, or not everybody's there yet, and they just want to find clothes that they can put on and on a day-to-day basis feel better about themselves. And as much as I would love for everybody to just be like, fuck it, wear whatever the fuck you want, as much as I would love that to be everybody's energy, I understand that that's not going to be everybody's journey with their body, and not everybody is going to want to reach a place where they feel totally comfortable putting themselves on display. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should or should not be doing to reach a better place with your body. Only you know that. And if you feel like body typing yourself is going to help you get to a better place with your body, then do that.
And I hope you see the pain in my face as I'm saying that, because I really, in my brain, it's like there was no other option. And I hope that other people can reach a place where they feel better about themselves, and like, I can only hope that other people find in themselves and begin to see in themselves what I started to see in myself. But I understand how existing in a fat body and experiencing years of fat phobia through other people, learning it in the ways that you're socialized, talking to yourself like that, some people won't be able to break through that. And if a body typing system that gives you clothing recommendations is going to make your day-to-day life easier, then you should do that. And I hope to fucking God that you can find some peace in your body and you can learn to love your body. But if you don't, I hope you do what you need to do to make your daily life better. And that's hard for me to say, because I want you to have this big journey and this big awakening, but I understand that depending on your experience and what's happened to you in your life, that might not be the case.
So we did the quiz and, you know, came to our own conclusions about what our body type was going to be. So then Tiffany had set us up with consultations with a KIBBE expert. Her name is Rebecca. We got a professional opinion. We sent in some photos and she basically told us what body type we were.
Before I start on this, I just want to say that Rebecca was literally the sweetest person ever. She was so kind to me in all of our email exchanges, and I felt so bad that I hated the KIBBE system because of her, because I thought that she was so nice, and I was like, fuck, I want to love it because you love it, but I don't. But you're great, fuck.
I got my consultation document back from Rebecca, and she said that I am a theatrical romantic body type. That's what I thought. I thought that I was gonna be in the romantic category. I wasn't sure like what kind of romantic, but let's go through this a little. Let's see the breakdown, see look why exactly I am theatrical romantic and what would be good for my body. The theatrical romantic body type is characterized by having mostly soft answers and rounded shapes. However, it also has a bit of added slenderness or sharpness, which is what separates it from the romantic body type. Since you have a very rounded body type, muscle that you gain from working out will probably be softly defined, and weight you gain will likely collect at your softest areas, which seems correct. Next up, we've got the styling keys, silhouette and fabric. According to this, the silhouette that I should wear should be soft and rounded with a sharply defined waistline and tapering at the wrists and hems. You can also add a hint of sharpness in your silhouette. Fabrics are going to be the best when they're lightweight and drapable, as heavy and stiff fabrics can obscure your bone structure. As far as details go, the detailing on my clothing is best when they're intricate or delicate. Things such as lace, gathers, draping, or soft pleats will look great on you. You can go really intricate and ornate with details such as buttons, collars, and trims. Prints and patterns are pretty much the same. They look best if they're intricate and ornate and if they have rounded shapes. Florals are great, but you can also go with other prints and patterns that have a rounded outline.
Which is actually kind of funny, because hearing that back now, I realize that it almost kind of describes how I used to dress in high school when I hated myself. It is interesting, right? Like, these suggestions for how I should dress or what would look flattering on my body. I used to dress like that back when I hated myself and cared what everyone thought about me. And I think I look a lot better now.
Hair and makeup. When it comes to hair, styles that are rounded, soft, full, and have some waves or curls will look best on you. A simple bun is a great go-to hairstyle if you're not sure what you want to do with your hair because it has that rounded shape to it. Makeup looks best on you when it's blended and has a bit of sparkle or shimmer. For evening looks, you can add a lot of sparkle and shimmer if you'd like. Highlighter and lip gloss are great ways to achieve this. So I get it. I understand the system now, and I am starting to pick up on where it starts to lose me. Like when she describes the body type and describes how I fit into it, all of that makes sense to me and does ring true to what I perceive my body to look like and be. I think where it starts to lose me is just with some of the suggestions. I don't understand like why my body would determine whether or not like floral patterns would look good on me. I just don't know that I understand that. There's just like no limit to what I can or cannot dress. And I understand that this isn't meant to be like limiting necessarily, but as someone who has struggled in the past with body image, I can see how like the toxic side of my brain when it comes to my body image could take something like this and be like, this is Bible. Like you can't wear anything else, and just sort of make my body image worse. So in reacting to my body type, I understood why I got it. A lot of it made sense. I think where it started to lose me was the style recommendations. Like I'm not certain that I understand the correlation between why having a round and short body would mean that lace looks good on me. It just feels kind of random to me. Okay, lace is gonna look good on you because you're short and you're round. Like, it just feels like random to me. It feels like a BuzzFeed quiz where all of a sudden they're like, if you had cereal in the morning, this is the holiday that you are. Like where's the connection? It's like fun. Like, oh, I'm short and round, so lace is gonna look good on me, but like, why? I feel like the whole video and throughout the entire process, I was just sitting here and be like, okay, I got the results, but why? Why? Why does that make sense? Obviously the people that really love KIBBE were sort of frustrated with my reaction because they found so many benefits in it and they couldn't understand why I couldn't see any of it for myself. So let me just start by saying that fat phobia doesn't go away because the system claims to be inclusive of people regardless of weight fluctuations. Fat phobia appears in so many different ways and we all contribute to it. I'm not gonna call anyone out here, but all of the comments that I pulled out from, you know, people essentially saying, you know, these aren't rules, like they're just suggestions. They all had a very similar phrase put into the bottom of their comment to explain why it was good. Like, these aren't rules. These are just suggestions that help to enhance, flatter, or balance your body. Those three words were used interchangeably when people are talking about the benefits of this system. These aren't rules. They're not telling you what you shouldn't wear. We're just trying to help enhance your body. We're just trying to flatter your body. We're just trying to balance your body. I hate the word flattering. To me, enhancing and balancing your body, when used in that context, are essentially synonyms for the word flattering. When you're talking about enhancing someone's body, what does that mean? When you're talking about balancing someone's body, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's take me, for example. If you took me and someone said, oh yeah, we're gonna dress to enhance your body. We're gonna dress to flatter your body. We're gonna dress to balance your body. And then they put me in low-rise jeans and a crop top with my stomach hanging out. A lot of you would tell that person that they're fucking shit at their job. You wouldn't look at someone like me and say, we're gonna dress to enhance your body and then show off my stomach. You just wouldn't do that, because that's not what those words mean. You can't use words like that and say we're gonna enhance your body, we're gonna flatter your body without there being some underlying fat phobia there. There's some disconnect happening where people aren't understanding that we can't escape fat phobia just because we're saying that we're escaping it. Just because you say that your KIBBE type doesn't change based on weight fluctuations, weight isn't a factor here, and there's no fat phobia here. Like, there always is. Always. We can't escape that, baby. This has been ingrained in all of us. So I would just encourage you to reflect on what the words enhance, flatter, and balance mean to you, and what that means when other people say them, and what someone that maybe doesn't look like you would feel about those words. Because to someone that looks like me and to people much bigger than me, those words mean something different, you know? That's a big reason for why a system like this is not going to be helpful for a lot of plus size people. Because to dress to enhance your body as a plus size person usually doesn't mean put your fatness on display. In the second video, Haley, one of the other participants, said something that I really liked. She was talking about how it's ridiculous to think that everyone would be included in this system, and you're trying to say that it works under the guise of inclusion, but it doesn't actually do any work to include fat bodies, which is exactly how I feel. Like, you can say, oh yeah, this is totally inclusive, but then if you don't do anything to prove that and to show up for those bodies, no you don't. No, it doesn't. Also, like, you have to understand that a lot of these beauty standards and, you know, things that are going to influence your style and recommendations is very pulled from beauty as the consumption of your body by others. Very rooted in how other people see your body and how other people are going to react to your body and where you live and how that changes based on where you are in the world. Any aspect of fashion, no matter how well-meaning, is always gonna have some aspect of fat phobia weaved into it. It's like just how it is. So in conclusion, if you like the KIBBE system and it has helped you in your body image journey and it has helped you feel more normal and given you clothing recommendations that have worked for you, I'm so happy for you and I'm glad that you found that. And if you're someone like me that wants to throw body typing out the fucking window and wear whatever the fuck you want and you don't like it, yeah, same, me too, and that's okay too. I think that at the end of the day, it's okay if you like it or you don't like it, but it's important to recognize who these systems were made for and who they weren't made for, and continue to stand up for those people as well. Yeah, I think I've said everything that I've had to say. I've been recording for like over a fucking hour now, so I need to shut the fuck up because this is gonna be a bitch to edit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you guys so much for subscribing if you came from the KIBBE system video. Fucking hi. I try to make videos often, but I also work a full-time job, so don't yell at me if I'm not consistent. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.